You guys that I was going to be getting the transcripts. Daddy's got the transcripts. Okay? I'm going to preface this before we go over this transcript and let you guys know something. I am not biased in this at all. Stop the cap.
225 pages of documents. Come on, bruh. You literally got a Lakari notepad talking about how much Tectone hates you.
The Tectone files just dropped, and apparently it's crazy. Let's look at it with WestJet. Also, people in the comment section keep asking what's on my shoulders. It's a shoulder. It's a heating pad. I usually work long hours of editing because I got like a bunch of channels, so helps me feel nice.
Tectone got booted off his agency despite them initiating this several months ago, and the civil court finds that there's reasonable grounds to believe that the respondent committed SA as well as stalking. Tectone hit with a 10-year protective order in X's assault case. The Travis County ruling requires Tectone, real name John Robertson, to stay 200 yards away from Pink Chew, give up firearms, delete her photos or videos, avoid all contact, and pay her 15 bans and legal fees. It runs until January 23rd. The judge found reasonable grounds under civil law's lower evidence standard, with no criminal charges filed yet, despite evidence sent to prosecutors. Basically, he can't own guns for 10 years.
They're all mags. Stop saying clips. You look stupid here.
Still don't know who Tectone is? He's a former Genshin Impact content creator who lost all of his hair due to stress. Oh, and he's also 42 years old. Now, this isn't a criminal case. This was done in a civil trial. So apparently, from what I hear, I'm not a lawyer, obviously. I'm a but the standard of evidence in a civil case is much lower. In criminal cases, it's evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. And in civil cases, it's a balance of probabilities, meaning more likely than not, 50%. Testimony alone can be sufficient in civil court if the judge finds it credible, consistent, and more believable than the defense's version. So labeling Tectone a is still inaccurate. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys and conceal my bias. I want Tectone to be innocent. I like the guy. I don't want him to be a but at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and carry water for Tectone and the girl with information I don't have, calling her a liar.
I do agree with that last portion for sure, that I am a fan of Tectone's content, right? I think his content is pretty dope, streams and whatnot, but I'm not going to just defend somebody all willy-nilly. I'm going to be extremely unbiased and just call it straight down the middle. If he's nasty, I'm going to let you know that he's nasty. But if the girl that's making these accusations is the one that's doing foul play, 100%. Yeah, I'm going to say it. Like, one thing that does stick out to me, though, is the fact that this isn't criminal, if I'm not mistaken, and that it's civil. I mean, that does seem odd to me, right? Most of the time when cases go civil, it's more so for compensation. It's for money. But I'm not an expert or anything. I'm not a lawyer. We're going to hear from a lawyer within this video.
Tectone said, guys, real quick, let me correct some that I see being said about me. I wasn't convicted of a crime. I wasn't involved in a criminal proceeding. No, I'm not going to jail or facing any criminal punishment. Guys, this was a civil hearing with a significantly lower standard of proof than a criminal proceeding. Also, Tectone's biggest hater, Mizkif, chimed in, and also completely unrelated, but that's a pretty cool sweatshirt.
Told you guys that I was going to be getting the transcripts. Daddy's got the transcripts. Okay? I'm going to preface this before we go over this transcript and let you guys know something. I am not biased in this at all. Stop the cap.
You see how Mizkif just lies out the gate, bro? Just straight out the gate. Oh yeah, I'm not biased. Yes, you are. You are 100%. You're the definition of bias. If I looked in the dictionary, I would see a picture of Mizkif like this. He's biased as hell. He wants to see anyone that he doesn't like personally get taken down. That's his end all be all. Don't believe him in that sweater. He's not here for the betterment of nobody. This dude is lying. He's 100% biased. He's team, let's see Tectone get taken down. You should be team, let's find out the truth about the Emeru situation, but I guess you don't want to talk about that, right, Mizkif? You don't want to speak on that? Huh? Inquiring minds want to know. No? Oh, okay. I figured. I mean, it made sense. That's your style.
And then we have filings and accusations coming from this, mainly from a drop by Mizkif, who is clearly trying to put information out there that leads people away from his own case at this point.
32-year-old bald male.
Tectone has his own mental health stuff. We'll see is his consistent threats on social media, wherein he has told his audience of over 1 million subscribers who suffer from schizophrenia. He has delusions at least once a month and they're not controlled. Well, okay. So he's allowed to tell his audience about his mental health condition if that's something that's out there and that's relevant, right?
Yeah, this sounds like a lot's going on, bro. A lot. But it doesn't seem as if things are what people are trying to make it. And I'm not saying that for either side. I'm just saying we need a lot more information. And when it comes to situations like this, I think the people that we should be listening to are the lawyers, the people that know a lot about this. And I want to hear what both of them say. But Mizkif is one of the last people that I want to hear any form of information from at all. Like, I don't want him to tell me what time it is. Like, I don't want him to tell me directions. I can't trust it. I'm going to end up somewhere else. I have to ask him how to get to Florida. I'm going to end up in Japan. All because he doesn't like me. Or because I gave him criticism once. So yeah, don't listen to Mizkif. Come in here with a unbiased way of thinking and just look at the facts, right? And focus on that. And once again, I'm not defending nobody. I don't know Tectone. I did enjoy his content. I said that past tense. I do enjoy his content, right? But I'm not going to just be defending anybody when I don't have all the information. I am seeing that a lot of people are denouncing him, though, or like a lot of his friends, a lot of his YouTuber or live streaming friends are all denouncing him. They don't want nothing to do with him no more. It's crazy out here in these streets.
Wait, remember, he was also accused of having a micro, right?
I'm going to let you know something, chat. There are some signs today that show he has a micro.
I mean, he did build his whole following off Genshin Impact. I feel kind of bad for the dudes with small who just caught a stray. Like, bruh, it feels like society treats them worse, man.
Who can relate?
I've also got confidential polygraph results.
Dude, this is actually Saul Goodman.
So he did a polygraph test. He gave consent for it. He's under a doctor's care for low T and anxiety.
Low testosterone and Genshin Impact like white on rice.
Did you ever put your in Pink's mouth without her consent? No. Did you ever put your in her without her consent? No. You ever have sexual contact with Pink without her consent? No. Polygraph examination. No deception indicated. If I'm going to disclose my bias, and I do have a bias here, I like Tectone.
And again, this isn't my hill to die on, but I will point out some hypocrisies and things I found interesting in the case. Yeah, so if I could explain on that, when all these things came out, I lost a pretty large chunk of my audience, and content creators kind of have to pivot what they're doing to other topics once they lose access to a demographic. So originally, I never covered anything political or talking about, white privilege, but yeah, I would say my content definitely had to find a new route on how to be successful online. You should have just said Genshin Impact was and he was tired of being a loser. Although it is kind of based how he just admitted in court that he's a grifter. Anyway, after this, a lot of his former anime colleagues cut ties and wrote out some pretty long manifestos.
Nah, that's crazy. That's whoa. Tell me in the comment section, guys. If you're a fan of Tectone, and guys, I've enjoyed his content. If that's true, and he's admitting that he was grifting and he doesn't really care about none of the stuff that he was talking about politically. Whoa. Are you still a Tectone fan? Let me know in the comment section, bro. I gotta know. Let me know, because this sounds insane, bro. I might do a poll on my community post. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I might do a poll. Yeah, because we got to know. Yo, that's crazy. Dude just like, whoa. Guys, I'm never going to do that. Never done that. I'm not really political, but if I give my opinion on society, it's real. I'm not here grifting. I don't have a side. I'm not on the right or left. I don't vote. I've been extremely honest about that since day one. But damn, that's crazy. And yes, I'm wearing my heating pad. Had to address it one more time. I know somebody gonna ask.
Never actually engaged in traditional intercourse. It was only he received blowjobs. There was never any reciprocation. So they're literally making a case that because he didn't have sex with her, this is abuse, right? So I just want to make it clear here that there's an argument here that really the problem is they didn't They ask you specifically, have you been sexually victimized in any way? Not sexually, but sexually victimized in any way. And your answer on July 24th was, and I presume this was no.
Bro, why are the files redacted? We got Jeffrey Epstein up in this. So what I gather here is that she changed her mind after.
Didn't understand until she got out of this relationship how bad it was. And this is kind of the thing that, I see in a lot of the cases where we get claims filed a year, 2 years, 3 years later. We saw this in the Khan case, in the Princeton case, where you have a person that does not think they were that knows everything was consensual, but then they have a friend, perhaps a very activist friend, who convinces them that they were SA'd because they weren't, because of their perspective and their prerogative on this, right?
Yeah, that's crazy. I ain't gonna even front. That's wow, son. Like, it's either yes or no, and clearly they said no. So what are we talking about? Yeah, I agree with legal mindset. In most of those cases, people will, I guess, get corrupted by someone who is disturbed, or they'll hide it behind certain political ideologies or being progressive to some degree. And then they feel like it's cool to destroy somebody's life based on some bull crap. If that's what's going on here, yeah, they did Tectone dirty. This is foul. This is undeserved, and it's wrong. That would explain why this would have to be done civilly and not criminal. Because in cases like this, I always wonder, why don't you go to the cops? Why are we talking about anything besides jail time if this person did what you said that they did? It's crazy. Tell me what you think about all of this in the comment section. Hit the hype button if you're able to.